Saint Lucia and Cuba are both Caribbean islands. In an ideal world, that immutable fact would have been enough to justify the friendship that they share, but in the so-called real world, Saint Lucia's relations with Cuba are as polarized as they might have been several decades ago. At the 20th anniversary celebration for the Saint Lucia-Cuba Friendship Association, Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot describes Saint Lucian's past perceptions of Cuba and communism as fearful.
We were told that we were not supposed to be part of communists. And in the political arena, the way the concept of communism was shared with our populace in Saint Lucia was one. I remember the late Alan Bousquet, when he was campaigning on his platform, he said, this communist thing, we cannot have communism in Saint Lucia. Because if you have 2 cows, they will take 1 cow and give it to somebody else, and you will have 1 cow left. So the people became very fearful of communism.
According to Dr. Albert Poyot, as time progressed, it was revealed that Cuba is increasing Saint Lucia's access to education and healthcare. His Excellency Peter Lansico, Saint Lucia's ambassador for Mexico and Venezuela, announced an upcoming increase in Cuban scholarships that will become available to Saint Lucians next year.
And so we'll be upgrading the cooperation program, and this year, a little later this year, we will be signing an upgraded cooperation program with Cuba, which will include even more scholarships for our people. And we will be reintroducing the party-to-party scholarship mechanism that we had many years. I've spoken to the Cubans about it, so we will continue to have our usual portion of national scholarships, but we will also be reintroducing the party-to-party scholarship program that we had with the Cubans. So we'll be having even more graduates from Cuba in the near future.
The diabetics also stand to benefit from the upcoming upgrade of the Cuban Cooperation Programme. This will offer access to additional treatment options meant to divert patients from being amputated as a result of their condition.
In health, my brothers and sisters, also the cooperation program that we are signing soon, a little later this year. I know the Prime Minister can't go to Havana, but about 2 or 3 of us will go to Havana to sign it, or we might sign it right here since the ambassador. We have a new, very enthusiastic, a very talented, very Caribbean-like ambassador. And we will be signing the new cooperation program, the upgraded cooperation program with the ambassador, which is going to include special treatment for diabetics. We have a serious diabetes problem in our country. And in Cuba, there is a technology where you don't need to cut people's legs. You do not need to cut people's legs in Cuba. There is that technology. And so later this year, we'll be signing this particular component in the cooperation program with Saint Lucians with diabetic problems do not need to get the legs cut anymore. In fact, I can share with you that only last week, the General Secretary of our party, Comrade Leo Clark, and I sat with the ambassador and we held talks about it. This is going to be a great day for us in Saint Lucia.
Lansico also announced that cataract surgeries offered under the Cuban Medical Eye Cooperation Program will be reinstated soon at the Betty Wells Urban Polyclinic, formerly referred to as the Victoria Hospital. Cuba's ambassador to Saint Lucia reiterated Cuba's commitment and generosity to Saint Lucia.
Cuba, with all this situation that I have described here, we do not give lots because we do not lot to offer. What we do is to share what we have. And now we are seeing these 2 new doctors here. On last Monday, 12 in fact, 12 students were to study medicine, pharmacy, and nursing in Cuba, and we will go on with this solidarity program of scholarships.
Saint Lucia's Cuban Cooperation Program is to be upgraded before the end of this year, 2025. For Choice News Now, I am Cianna Dalsan.